Turn that damn juice on!
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Live here on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. I'm your host, John Neighbors, alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your afternoon. This afternoon, as we're officially 2 days away from Razorback football, so we're going to have a lot of discussions on that. We'll also have our heavy hitters presented by HD Roofing and Construction. Have a little vibe checking of the chat presented by Basis Health. We'll also be able to tell you about some new sponsors that we have here as part of Inside Arkansas and our Inside Arkansas football coverage, as well as a big announcement of a new addition here to Inside Arkansas. But fellas, it's Thursday, 2 days away. It is raining cats and dogs and feels like it's flooding in Northwest Arkansas. But how are the vibes here on this hump day? Or on Thursday even? Jeez.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it all runs together at this point, man. I was going to say beautiful day might be a stretch. It's always a beautiful day in the great state of Arkansas, but this one's definitely testing the theory a little bit. I thought I was going to have to call Freedom Boat Club to see if they could just send one out to my house so I could get around a little bit. It's nuts. I knew it was going to rain. I didn't know it was going to rain like this. And it's not just a drizzle. It's just a downpour consistently for hours. But it's not going to rain on my parade because it is a good day. We are closer to Razorback football, and we have some pretty good teams playing college football tonight. So I'm looking forward to everything that we have going on, including our live stream this evening. It's going to be a good day.
Is it 15 college football games that are on tonight? 15, 17, something like that? It's a lot. Yeah. I think that the weather, this is just the price we have to pay for a not hot season opener on Saturday. And so I think it's going to be perfectly fine as long as the rain gets out of the area, which I think it will. But this is just the stuff we have to endure to have a 78-degree season opener on Saturday, which we will have, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the weather for now, as long as it's not this way on Saturday, which would have sucked. That would have been pretty rough to deal with the flooding conditions and whatnot. But yeah, it's going to rain today, rain tomorrow, but I'm taking the weather of what we got right now. And it's amazing that with each day that, like, I know we've been to this point really the whole time, but as we ever get closer to the days of, or Saturday of Arkansas having their season opener, it just gets kind of tiresome of like, all right, done talking about it. That's what it happens. You're done talking about it. You're done hearing from people. I know that Sam Pittman had his catfish hole and SEC teleconference yesterday, but now it's zero dark 30 really from players, from Pittman. Nothing today, nothing tomorrow. And the next time we get to hear from Sam Pittman, we'll, I guess, maybe be on the pregame of the broadcast of on radio or maybe on the SEC network, whatever, and talking with him. But it's at the point where I think everybody's at that stage. Just it doesn't matter really what's being said. Everyone's got their own predictions. We had our predictions that we went out, and I know we'll have continued pregame and some other things going out as well. But I think just everyone's itching to the point of, hey, let's just stop talking about this and let's actually see what happens on the field. Let's get to that point. And that's kind of what I wanted to dive into a little bit today, because it's always about, predictions and whatnot, but also best cases and worst cases scenarios. And I just don't mean in wins and losses. I just mean in general for this Razorback football team, because, when we put out our predictions, everyone was really kind and let us know exactly how right we were and how they agreed with us every step of the way. But a lot of people have their own feelings and everything. So, I mean, I feel like when I look at this season, it's like the best case scenario, realistically speaking. I mean, how do you guys feel about it? Is it the 7 to 8 win margin? Is it the, how the offense looks? How's the defense look? I mean, when it comes to somebody asking you best case scenario, worst case scenario for Razorback football this season, what comes to mind?
I think it does have to, it almost has to include a higher amount of wins, the 7-8 win range. I think that's probably a pretty good call there. And it's just because of the tenor of the situation. Like at the end of last year, 2 years ago, when it was 4-8 and that was unacceptable. But we're going to keep this thing rolling. And then last year, a lot of people weren't satisfied with the 6-6 deal. And, it is what it is. And you're kind of running it back there. We've done all the talking, like you mentioned, John, and it just gets repetitive, and we're very happy to actually have some football that we're going to be able to break down. But the whole, this could be a better team without the record and everything, all that stuff could be true, but people want to see the progress. And the only way to really, really be able to quantify that is through the win column. And so I do think best case scenario for this football program is to win more games than they're expected to win. And they might need to do it by a fairly significant margin, I think, to satisfy people out there. That's best case scenario, because otherwise, if you do the 6-6 thing again, and maybe you look good in some games, you look bad in some others, and you're still kind of stuck in that purgatory, you're going to have half the people saying, well, but the schedule, and then you're going to have the other half of the people saying, this is unacceptable. We're not accepting the mediocrity. I'm tired of that split. And I would love to have something that people are unanimously pleased with and excited about. And the only thing that's going to be is winning a bunch of football games. I think that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it's fascinating is I was on the Discord the other day, and there was a conversation about the most ideal win totals for Arkansas this year. And there was a guy on the Discord who was arguing that Arkansas going 8-4 this year would be the worst case scenario, because it would mean that Pittman keeps his job forever and all this. And I push back strongly against that. I think if you're not happy with an 8-4 season in the SEC, that means, especially given the context of Arkansas, it's like that means we've lost the plot completely. I think if we're talking about best case scenarios of what's the most this team could realistically accomplish, of course, there's they could just win every single game or whatever. I think it would have to be in that 8-4, maybe 9-3 range, but really probably 8-4, because I think the LSU games and Texas games, like even in your best case scenario, you should not be expecting them to win those games. I would probably put Notre Dame close to that, although it being at home and early maybe changes a little bit. And then I think you have a bunch of games there in Auburn, Tennessee, A&M, Mississippi State, I guess, a little bit, Missouri, that are all kind of clumped together that I feel like are toss-up games. And, somewhere in that 35 to 65% range where it's all kind of a toss-up. I think the best case scenario would include Arkansas basically winning all of those and then losing to the teams they're supposed to lose to in Notre Dame, Texas, LSU. So I say all that to say I think the best case scenario for this team would be 9-3, but really it's probably 8-4, because are you going to win all the toss-up games? Probably not. But I've also said all along, I don't think that this team's worst case scenario is that much lower than what I have projected for them, 5-7. Like, I think I couldn't see them being worse than 4-8. I really genuinely could not see a path to Arkansas going 3-9 without everyone getting hurt and there being a plague. So I think this is kind of an unfortunate situation where it's like your floor might be 5-7, but your ceiling might be 7-5.
Well, and to take that to another step too, it's like college football is unique in many ways, but one of the most unique ways in the sports that we cover with Curtis, you basketball, and Andrew, you baseball mainly, is that, if you talk about, best case scenario for one of these sports, well, for basketball, it's be like, well, best case scenario is winning a national championship. Worst case scenario is losing in the first round of the tournament. And then in baseball, it's kind of the same thing. Best case scenario is winning it all, but worst case scenario is just losing in the regional again in Fayetteville. Those two things are postseason, though. It doesn't, like, regular season doesn't even come up. It's not even a thing. It's not like, oh, well, you got to get to this point in postseason. For football, it's like, no, it's unique in the way that it's about the regular season. And if it would be different if there was a way, which I know maybe eventually we'll get there, where if you go 8-4 and you make the college football playoffs and you make a run in there, it's going to get to the point to where no longer are we sitting here talking about wins and losses as far as regular season and what matters. It's about, well, what did you do in the postseason? Where did you get to? Did you get to the playoffs? And that's what almost makes it not unfair, because these guys and these coaches make so much money, but it's a matter of, hey, your postseason is the season. Like, that's it. You have no other option for that. And so when it comes to being 7-5 for that, we'll just use that as an example, 7-5, there's no, well, 7-5 on top of this may lead to this. No, it's just you're 7-5, because it doesn't matter what bowl game you go to. It doesn't matter what bowl game you win. Bowl games could not be more irrelevant when it comes to counting as a win or loss, just given the transfer portal and the meaningless nature there. Arkansas goes 7-6 last year. Great, because they did have a winning record. That's awesome. But I just don't know anybody who was sitting there being, you know what, I wasn't happy with 6-6, but as soon as we won the Liberty Bowl and went 7-6, I was a little bit happier. Is just more of like, no, you went 6-6. So that's what makes this unique situation in college football, but also for Sam Pittman, where postseason's not a thing. No one's even considering a postseason other than the bowl game. But, there's just nothing there. This is it. You get 12 games, Sam Pittman. You get 12 games, and you either make or break it. And going to your point, Andrew, about people not wanting Sam Pittman to be around or whatever it is, everyone knows how much I despise Houston Nutt. But there was not a single time in that 2007 season with Darren McFadden where I was rooting for Arkansas to lose to get him fired. Like, there was just not a single moment. And I just don't think that should be the case here. You should want Arkansas to win every single game, regardless if you hate Pittman with the passion of a fiery sun. You should want Arkansas to win every game. And I just don't understand why people feel that way.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's kind of interesting how quickly the like the tenor of college football has shifted with bowls and everything as you talk about it, because it's like, all right, really it's college football playoff, or for the most part, people don't get that excited about them anymore. It's because of the transfer portal and like entirely different rosters. It just doesn't mean as much as it used to. It used to be really cool. If you got in the Cotton Bowl or something, you're like, man, let's go. This is great. It's going to be an awesome matchup, a good reward for a really good season kind of deal. And I just remember being so excited on the surface when Arkansas got in the Outback Bowl a few years ago. It was like, damn, man, this is awesome. Like you get Penn State, it's a big bowl game. This is cool. But then it wasn't, like Penn State, half their team wasn't playing, and it's guys leaving with Arkansas, and it's just not the same. So I'm kind of there too, where I look more at regular season success as opposed to, I'm with you, man. Like I didn't get all that excited about the Liberty Bowl win because it was two teams that we hadn't seen on the field the entire year. So I don't know how much stock you can really put into that. For me, it's college football playoff or the Pop-Tart Bowl. Anything else doesn't move my needle.
I think also a lot of this is about creating moments. And what Arkansas did last year when they beat Tennessee was they created a moment. I mean, that's a moment that we saw play out on Netflix on a very national stage. People around the country were talking about that. You beat a top 5 team. If you ask most of the country, what did Arkansas football do in 2024? That is going to be the one and only thing they list. I don't think there were a ton of people who watched Arkansas beat Mississippi State. I know there weren't a ton of people that watched Arkansas beat UAB or UABB or UAB for that matter. And so I think the record is weird, and it's weird how in college football there's so much stock in one or two games that are decided by one or two plays, and how big of a difference 5-7 can feel to 8-4, even though you might be a similar team. But I think nationally, if you want to really change that narrative about you publicly, for Arkansas, I don't even know if it really is a thing of if Arkansas goes 7-5, they're going to have more respect nationally. If they go 8-4, they're going to have more respect nationally. Oh, well, 6-6, they'll have about the same respect nationally. You got to go out there and show people. And I think people are going to remember what you force them to remember. And so it's going to be a matter of, does Arkansas go out there and have those big moments? And will those big moments change the way that people view Arkansas nationally? Because I think the Tennessee game, again, did that last year. I think it changed that maybe some people were like, oh, wow, you know what? Sam Pittman's going to survive. Arkansas is still that scrappy underdog. Cool. And Arkansas fans may disagree with that sentiment, but I feel like nationally, when you hear people talk about Arkansas, that Tennessee game changed a lot of the way they viewed everything. And I mean, last year, everyone was talking about Sam Pittman getting fired. That Tennessee game changed that. Should it have? I don't know, but that definitely was a thing that happened. And so that's kind of my big question is, the record is going to matter, and that's what really matters to us. But what is Arkansas going to do in these games or in these opportunities, in these big moments that is going to really change the way people view Arkansas nationally? You go out there and beat a Texas. You go out there and beat a LSU. You go out there and really rattle off some competitive games in these big moments and shine on the big stages. You might have a chance to do that. And so that's going to be a real big picture way of how we view this season. Because I think if we go 6-6, it might feel similar to us in terms of last year. But I think nationally, it might be easy for people to dismiss that if Arkansas just goes 6-6 and doesn't really have any of those big signature moments.
Well, and also, too, college football is one of the things, which we know this. It's not anything that we haven't heard before, but it's just sometimes I think it's hard for people, fans, fan bases, and I could be included in this, to just keep up with the ever-changing things that something that used to mean something doesn't anymore. Like in basketball and in baseball in college, like College World Series has been around forever. That's always meant something. NCAA tournament, regardless of the expansions, the NCAA tournament always has meant something. But in college football, it's like bowls used to mean something. Bowl games used to mean something. The top 25 poll, the AP poll, used to mean something. Coaches poll used to mean something. And as time has gone on, these things, even if they're still around, because the bowl games are still around, the AP poll is still around, but it doesn't have the same luster. It doesn't mean as much because now we have a college football playoff poll and ranking, which is the only thing that matters really when it comes to postseason play. We have bowl games, but as we've talked about, it just doesn't have the same thing. So I think fans, and then sometimes maybe even coaches in the way that they look at things, they maybe just haven't kept up with the ever-changing times of like not understanding, hey, these things don't matter to people as much anymore, or it doesn't mean the same thing. In theory, maybe it should, but it just doesn't. And I don't know, but I don't know if there'll ever be a day when bowl games go away. I'm not saying I want them to, but I mean, are they always going to be? Is it always going to be this way? Is it always going to be just hanging out and going to the Pop-Tart Bowl, and which would be great? It'd be awesome, but I just wonder if at some point in time bowl games officially go away at any point.
Yeah, or some of them maybe, like the 6-6 variety, like maybe it becomes a thing where, the teams that are just on the outside looking in of the playoff, like they have a separate, almost like an NIT or something of bowl games. I don't know. But I'm kind of with you. Like some of these, you look at them now and you're like, all right, what are you really getting out of this? But I would guess that as long as there is a television station that's putting them on the air and paying for that, and as long as they're selling some tickets, they're going to continue to do as many of them as they possibly can. So whatever. I wind up watching a lot of them anyway, just because it's something to do. So I'm good with it. But I wanted to ask you guys real quick. Is it fair for us to change the goalpost in like 72 hours in terms of the best case scenario? Because here's something I see playing out. I see Arkansas going out there on Saturday and winning by about 60 points against a completely overmatched opponent. But then I could also see Texas going to Ohio State, Arch Manning throwing 2 interceptions, and they lose by a touchdown. And I could also see LSU going on the road to Clemson and blowing another opening week game and losing by a field goal down there. And I could see a lot of Razorback fans all of a sudden going, wait, so we're just penciling in Texas and LSU as losses here? What's going on? I see that scenario playing out, and I just have a feeling that that the conversations in this chat that we have right here with us are going to be a little bit different this time next week. I'm not saying they should be, but I have a feeling that's going to happen.
It's definitely going to happen, Curtis. And I think that comes back to the idea of like, you guys set the expectation, and for everyone that's kind of pushed back when we say, hey, this team is probably going 6-6, 5-7, 7-5, whatever, we think they don't have a high ceiling, and people push back and say, hey, there's no reason this team shouldn't win 8 games. There's no reason they can't really compete at 9-3 and be in the playoff. You're well within your rights to feel that way. But then if they do go 5-7, 6-6, you're going to have to answer for that. And you're going to have to adjust the way you feel about this team accordingly. And so again, it comes back to this idea of like, some people, like if Arkansas went 7-5 this year, I think there would be a lot of people, the 3 of us, by the way, included, who were like pleased with that. And were like, wow, like pleasantly surprised. Like, man, you know what? Like they wound up being really competitive. They were a play or 2 away from, going 8-4, 9-3. Like they really made some teams sweat. Like I'm kind of impressed by how it went down. But you would have another side of the fan base that was completely miserable. You'd have some that were annoyed that Pittman is just going to stick around. And then you'd have those guys that yelled at us for saying they're not going 9-3, who would be kind of in a weird lull there where it's like, well, can you really even celebrate the 7-5 season if you swore they were going 9-3? And so it's so funny how the season can play out one way, and then the entire fan base can interpret it differently. And that's what makes college football so unique is you look around 7-5. If Alabama goes 7-5 this year, it's going to be a completely different center than if Arkansas goes 7-5. And you go on down the line to other programs. If Vanderbilt goes 7-5, they're going to throw a parade. Like it's just a very unique way that we interpret and we experience college sports. And so I look forward to seeing those mental gymnastics of the fan base play out. But you're 1,000% right. Like as soon as Arkansas looks great against Alabama A&M, people are going to easily start being like, I don't know. I don't see any team that they can't beat. I watched college football all weekend. I think they can beat all of these teams. And like, listen, that's as a fan, that's what you want to do. And that's what you probably should do. But don't yell at us if we just kind of are like, hey, that doesn't really change anything big picture.
Well, I'll tell you what, as to your point too, it's like last year we had a conversation on this show about Arkansas in the college football playoff. And I mean, it was just a flirting with it. Now, was that because Arkansas was just an amazing team? Or was it because of the rest of the games on Arkansas' schedule suddenly seemed a little bit different than what they once did? And that's going to be the same thing this year. Yeah, all it's going to take is A&M getting blown out by Notre Dame, which I guess that would mean the other side for Notre Dame. But still, like if they get blown out, but then Arkansas only loses to Notre Dame by 3, it's like, hey, I mean, we can beat A&M because we didn't lose as badly to Notre Dame. So there's always going to be those gymnastics that get played around. But for part of that, let's do that for your Alumni Hall question of the day, which, by the way, we're going to be live at tomorrow at noon. Right there in Alumni Hall for the ultimate Razorback shopping experience. All of the greatest apparel you could get for the Razorback football season. It doesn't look like it's going to rain on Saturday, but you never know. But if you do need some of that Razorback rain apparel, they got it. They got everything. And so we can't wait to tell you more about it tomorrow at 3417 North College Avenue. You can come in, say what's up to us, and use that promo code HOGSBY20, and you get 20% off your purchase. It's as simple as that. They have everything in stock, jerseys, hats, all that great stuff. So check them out today. You can also shop them online at InsideArkansas.com/Alumni Hall. Use that QR code. And it'll take you right there. It's the ultimate Razorback shopping experience with Alumni Hall. And it was simply the question of best case scenario, realistically, when it comes to wins and losses, where you feel for Arkansas. And the choices were simply 9, 8, 7, 6. And surprisingly, pretty evenly keeled here. 32.5% say 8, 31.5% say 9, 20% say 7, and 16% say 6. So pretty even there for the most part is what people are seeing their best case scenarios for the Razorbacks. But just barely winning is the 8-win mark, which that's kind of maybe where I fall. Like best case, just if you're saying what's your best case scenario for Arkansas wins, if the ball bounces their way in all these games and everything, I feel like the 8-4 mark is probably like what's best for them.
I think so too. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Barring kind of like Andrew, what you were talking about on worst case, like barring something happened in the Taylor Green or whatever, you feel pretty good about a certain baseline of wins there. And then on the flip side, it does feel like there might be a pretty sturdy ceiling unless something like that happens with some of these other teams that you're facing. So I think I'm with you. 8 makes sense.
I will say, Curtis, something you said maybe changed my mind a little bit on the worst case thing, but I do agree. Like I think 4 and 8, I really don't see. I just don't think this team is bad enough to go 3 and 9. Like I really. Yeah. But if they do lose that Memphis game, say they lose to Ole Miss and Memphis, and all of a sudden you're 2 and 2,
wheels come off.
That might be a stepping off point. Of, Arkansas as a team, would they still be capable of beating Auburn, beating Mississippi State, beating whoever? Sure, but if you lose to Memphis, there's going to be a lot of fans that quit. There's going to be a lot of players that quit, and there's going to be a lot of coaches who have quit before that will gladly quit again. We've seen Arkansas quit, under Sam Pittman before. Once you do it once or twice, it ain't that hard to do it again. I do think there would be some there, but I think that would fall under the category of like special circumstances of like Taylor Green getting hurt, the team quitting, you know what I mean? Like we could look back and be like, all right, that's what happened there. But I think that Memphis game could be kind of volatile, but I would agree. I think floor of 4 and 8 and ceiling of 8 and 4 is kind of how I feel, which I know is not an original take. And I've seen everyone say that as like a prophetic, like, hey, I've got a unique opinion about this team. I think they could go 4 and 8 or 8 and 4. I really do think that's about right. But if I'm being honest with you, I think it's like 5 and 7, 7 and 5, honestly.
Yeah, as long as the first 4 games go according to plan, like according to chalk even, that means you could go lose, like you split Ole Miss and Memphis. As long as you get that as a baseline and no funny business, I think that's exactly the direction that we're trending in there. But you're right. Yeah, if things get dicey there for that Memphis game, that could be
Arkansas has gone 4 and 8 twice in the last decade, and both times it included a random win over a conference opponent. Ole Miss that one time. You had Florida in the 2023 season where they go out there and beat them. And I think Mississippi State could maybe be that, where it's like even in the worst case scenario, they still beat a random conference team.
But what's still really funny is in 2012 when they went 4 and 8, they had 2 SEC wins. If people even remember, because that was Kentucky and Auburn. Big wins there, but lost to Rutgers and was it Louisiana Monroe? That's right. Can't forget that one. But anyways. So yeah, it's a scenario that Arkansas fans are contemplating, but at the end of the day, listen, we're going to have the ebbs and flows. If you went back and watched every one of our post-game shows last season in like chronological order, you'd be like, golly, I need a shower after all that, because it was just up and down of emotions and craziness that happened. It's probably going to be something similar this year, just to be honest. But either way, listen, college football's here, as was mentioned. We got a few games tonight. And games tomorrow, games for like the next 7 days straight or whatever it is, which I know we're all big fans of. But I want to remind everybody that we have a new sponsor here on Inside Arkansas. It's our friends over at Goat Lab Brewery in Fayetteville, or Goat Lab Red, as they're called it. Really appreciate them being a part of it. It's an awesome new spot over there in the Garland area. For those of you in the Fayetteville, right off there off of North Garland. And they have this great new location. A lot of you may have heard the Goat Lab Brewery up in Lowell. It's their other spot. It's on Oak Plaza in North Garland. And on Saturday, they're having their grand opening at 10 a.m., as well past into the night after Razorbacks score a bunch of touchdowns. Who knows? Maybe they stay up till midnight. Either way, they're having their big tailgate happening right there in the parking lot. They're going to have the Goat Lab brews like Razorback, Tusk, and Tusk Light. Also have the tents out there in the parking lot so you can enjoy the best craft beer around. They also have their signature burgers that you can check out. And also on Sundays, they have this thing, all you can eat pancakes with your choice of 2 Goat Lab beers or 2 mimosas. So all you can eat pancakes with 2 beers or 2 mimosas for just $16. And that's on Sunday. So you can't beat that deal. But either way, they're having their grand opening. So stop by and see them on your way over there. And it's Goat Lab Red, your new game day tradition. We really appreciate them being partners with us here at Inside Arkansas.
Okay. I am 1,000% going there Sunday. Michelle gets the pancakes. I'll have the beers. We're good to go. That's a good deal right there. I love that.
Those beers on the video look good.
Oh my God.
That kind of spilling over the top. They look good.
That's my kind of breakfast.
I know. I had to read it correctly and make sure that I didn't say all you can eat pancakes and like all you can drink mimosas or something like that, or bottomless mimosas, because that would get people all through the door and start freaking out. But
wow.
Yeah, it's a good spot, man. It's a really cool place, and can't wait to check it out. So yeah, if you can make it to the tailgate that they're having for the grand opening on Saturday, be sure to do it. It's starting at 10 a.m. All right, so a few games tonight. Not really anyone's is like, oh my gosh, it's blowing us away. Can't wait to watch it. But, hey, listen, you got an SEC team playing tonight. You got Missouri taking on Central Arkansas, big game there. According to SARACEN, Missouri's favored by 40.5. So, maybe take the Bears in that one. But I guess, first off, I was tripping. For some reason, I thought Missouri was ranked in the top 25. I don't know why I thought that, but they're not. And I'm okay with it. It's just something that when I kept reading, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought that they were the top 25. At least with that schedule, they should be. But either way,
they should probably finish in the top 25 with that schedule. But when you're committed to playing each one of your quarterbacks for a half in your opener, I co-sign on not having you in the top 25. So
yeah, when you've been the team that's been overachieving, that is like one more games than you should have based on your schedule, and you're going to do it again. Hell, they're barely above Arkansas in the team talent composite. So it's like, but according to some people, the entire SEC should be in the top 25.
According to some, yeah, which is quite the take, really. But you have them, I guess, Oklahoma State too. They're playing tonight against UT Martin, 6:30. So there's that. You have another Big 12 team of Houston playing against Stephen F. Austin. You have Nebraska and Cincinnati.
That's a fun one.
That one has a chance to get weird.
Hey, did y'all see the field paint for that?
I guess not. No,
I don't know where they're playing. Maybe they're playing at the Bengal Stadium. It looked like they're playing maybe in an NFL stadium or something.
It's at Arrowhead.
It's at Arrowhead. Okay, that makes sense. It was right up there, and people were kind of going off about it because the Cincinnati in the end zone it looks great. It looks crisp. It looks clean, and then you just can't even really see the Nebraska. Like it's very red, but like there's not any clearly defined, outlines on the end or whatever. I think I even saw the first time I saw it was Josh Pate. He was like, if this isn't just like a rough draft, like it's unacceptable. This just can't happen. But it looks really bad. You literally cannot see it from like the above view where they have both end zones. It's wild.
Is Dylan Raiola taking this Patrick Mahomes thing a little too far?
Yes.
They're literally playing at Arrowhead. Come on.
Yeah, but he's not doing any of those things. He said he made it known he's not doing anything like that. But also, too, it just made me think: was it Travis Kelce went to Cincinnati, right? So I wonder if he's going to be there with Taylor and engagement and all that. Probably not. But
I don't want to keep talking about Travis Kelce too long. But did y'all see that Bush Jones basically was like, "Hey, yeah, he tried to call me and tell me, but I didn't know what he was talking about." And he was like, because he coached him at Cincinnati.
Oh,
so he was like, yeah, he was telling me about something, but I didn't know what he was talking about.
No, I didn't see that. But hey, flex about it, my man. You think Butch Jones is going to get invited to the wedding?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty cool. I'd flex about that.
I mean, if Bielema went to Paris for the Russell Wilson wedding, he should get a nod.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He definitely should. But top 25 team, the only one you guys, Boise State in South Florida. This one's actually this afternoon at 4:30. So yeah, it's on ESPN in Tampa. But listen, you got Duke playing tonight against UT or against Elon, and you also have Wisconsin playing against Miami of Ohio on the Big Ten Network. So a few interesting games, at least to Power 4 teams and whatnot. But you got that, and then of course tomorrow, as Quinn so lovingly pointed out, you're going to have a big one. At least a fun one with the Auburn Tigers and the Baylor Bears, which I guess YouTube TV and them settled their differences. So if you have YouTube TV, I think we're good.
How about that? That's going to be a good Friday night watch. That's a huge game for Auburn there early in the season. We talk about Arkansas, and it's like, yeah, that Ole Miss game in week 3 could be a big swing game. Like, oh, you got to get that Memphis one. For Auburn, it's pressure right out of the gates because Baylor is a team that was kind of coming on at the end of last year, and they feel like they might be primed to have a little bit of a bounce back there. But it's still, if you're expecting to be in the upper half of the SEC or whatever, that's probably a game you need to go get. And you know how the situation is with Hugh Freeze. So we talk about, like, we always do these predictions of games and everything like that, but sometimes we don't talk enough about, like, what mental state our team's going to be in when they play Arkansas. Or, like Andrew, you brought up a minute ago, where is Arkansas going to be at if this happens or if that happens? Auburn goes and loses to Baylor in week 1 there, and it's going to get feisty over there pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, I think the same could be said about LSU. Although, what's funny about the LSU situation is that they play Clemson, who is, of all these week 1 teams they've lost to over the last 5 years, Clemson is better than all of them. And I think this current LSU team would beat USC last year. They would beat at least one of those Florida State teams. They definitely would have beat that KJ Costello Mississippi State team. But I think LSU is staring down the barrel of a week 1 loss again, and people are not going to be happy about that. So they're maybe one to monitor. But Auburn, it's weird because I think Baylor's kind of in a situation similar to that too. Like they came on strong down the stretch last year, but if they lose that game, it's going to be pretty tough for them as well. Like I think Dave Aranda's tenure has not been as fun as everyone thought it would be at Baylor. Plus, he had that weird comment about the M words the other day. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
So I mean, you just got a lot going on there in this matchup.
Well, and also too, as our residential Auburn fan Quinn says in the chat, appreciate the super chat, says tomorrow night I'll be either very happy or melting down. Florida and Eagle. So
hey, that's the time of year we're in, man.
Yeah.
Beauty of being a fan there.
I cannot. I was just gonna say I'm gonna turn on my notifications for Quinn tomorrow.
Dude. Yeah. He's gonna be an electric factory on X. If you're not following Quinn, you need to be doing that. Not safe for work though. So
don't read in front of your kids.
Yeah. Be careful about that. I want to show you guys this real quick though, because I got that picture. You see the Cincinnati there, looks good, and then
that's sad.
Zoom.
An outline on there.
That looks rough.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Looks like Arkansas's stadium or field like halfway through the year, because it's like they always just look so good to start and then just goes by the wayside. So also a shout out to Evan for his super chat. Appreciate it. He says, what SEC team do you want to see implode?
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, pick your poison.
LSU though, for sure.
I think LSU would be there just because if they melt down and they fire Brian Kelly, just I don't know. I would love to see. I'm not saying they wouldn't get a good coach, because they would, but I just love to see them have to deal with the coaching carousel from all that. But them, or I don't know, just seeing Missouri do it because their schedule's so easy would be really funny.
Yes.
If they went 6-6 with that schedule, we'll be like, oh, you might as well have gone 3-9.
I don't know if Missouri would implode as a fan base though, because I think they're in the stretch. They've had some success lately. When your coach has not success out of random, you can easily come up with excuses. They would just go into excuse making territory. Whereas like I think other schools would like really fire their coach if things went bad. I think Missouri has like a free pass year where like they could go 3-9, and I think Drink has built up enough. Like I don't even think they would turn on them if they went 3-9.
Well, I think that actually would be probably a benefit, at least for me, because if Arkansas does have a coaching search after this season, that's one less team you have to worry about. But then it's still funny to watch them from afar and then like fail miserably for that schedule. So, but I mean, listen,
I'll tell you who I don't want to implode: Florida. Not that I think they are, but I think they're definitely a candidate to maybe fire their coach if things go south. And Arkansas doesn't play them, so there'd be no benefit to them imploding from there. And I think that job opening would be one I don't want to open. So I really do not want to see Florida implode. I want them to hold steady at 7-5, 8-4.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, any that was a good one, but also just any team that Arkansas plays, I think would be great. Especially like, what if Texas imploded? That'd be kind of fun. Like all the Arch Manning love and everything, only for them to, go 8-4 and miss the playoffs. That'd be just hilarious to see their melting down of a fan base. So yeah, just anybody. We'll take our joys with any SEC team that ends up failing miserably this season. So, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. either way, we'll have more of your chats to get into, folks, and some other topics of conversation as well. But I want to remind everybody that we're presuming our friends over at Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas, because listen, we're close, very close to Halloween. It's a couple months, and a lot of you are wanting to make sure that your house is decorated for Halloween. You may have those cool pumpkins and whatnot, maybe the little scary ghosts flying around, but it's about the lights, because let's be honest, at night, that's when the Halloween decorations really pop, as well as the Christmas decorations. So you got to have the good lighting. So have the pros do it at Walter Christmas Lighting, where then Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley, they're going to help you out installing it, setting up your house with it, with all the materials that they're going to provide, any color, any pattern that you want. And as you can see in the video there, you can see some of the examples of the lighting that they take care of for you, where they install it. You get free maintenance throughout the season. So if anything ever ends up happening to the lights, they have to have a strand go out, anything like that, they'll take care of it. And if you sign up for Halloween lights, folks, you get your Christmas lights for 50% off. You're not getting a better deal than that. So text our guy Brett for a free estimate at 479-459-1380. That's 479-459-1380. You can also check out their website at walterchristmaslighting.com, or like them on Facebook by scanning the QR code right here on the screen. It's Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas, your local holiday lighting experts. All right, so a few chats here. Appreciate everybody who's been jumping in. Hey, listen, we got a new member. Got to give a shout out to our guy Gibb. Who is a new member of Inside Arkansas. And guys, we're going to play something from our guy Gibb later in the show. I'm just saving it for the heavy hitters, but we're going to play something for our guy Gibb. But I appreciate the membership, man.
Is that Gibb's profile? Is that Gibb in the picture?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Put a face to the voice here soon. Is what we'll be able to do. But let's see. Trey over here says, "Good afternoon, boys. Watching from the beach with the Razorback flag flying in the wind." Well,
hell yeah, man. Well, you're much. I'm happy that you're enjoying, nice weather and stuff, because in Arkansas we are not getting that. So you're in a cooler location. So hope you have a great one.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Also, too, I was thinking if you just put a bunch of sand in your front yard, you probably feel like you're at the beach here in Fayetteville, at least in Northwest Arkansas. That's the way it is. Also, awesome from where he put up this. He's like, could you imagine what Bryle's offense would do with TG, Washington, and Russell? I mean, probably something.
I mean, I'm not trying to be mean here, but like, I don't know if Taylon Green, Mike Washington, and Braylon Russell are like substantially better than what Kendall Bryles worked with. I mean, he had Rocket, KJ, and Traylon Burks. You know what I mean? Like, he's had some pretty good weapons. Like, I'm sure he would do about whatever this Arkansas offense is about to do this year.
Yeah, that was going to be my question. Is like, do you think that the Bryles offense with these guys would be better than the Petrino offense with these guys? Like, I don't know.
The trick play potential for Kendall Bryles would be through the roof, man. I mean,
yeah,
dude, he would have Monty Harrison throwing passes like crazy. He's like, oh, he played baseball, so he's got an arm. He's just gonna be out there throwing the stuff
exactly
all the time, and none of them would be complete. It'd be great. It'd be absolutely great. Let's see. Tamara said, I used your promo code Alumni Hall and got 2 very nice hoodies. 20% off really helped. Thanks, guys. You're welcome, Tamara.
Yeah.
Glad you could use it. And nice hoodies too. Yeah, feels like hoodie weather out there. But yeah, they got a lot of stuff. We can't wait to get there tomorrow and then check it all out. So be sure to pull up. Let's see. Also, Showtime Production says Neighbors, which I guess Malik Neighbors is who he's referring to with the E spelling. You can't tell me you wanted Chad Morris to win and save his job. Most obvious cancer ever. I mean, okay, well, here's the difference. I didn't have to. Like, I didn't have to bury anybody, but all you had to do is hand him the shovel. He buried himself, so I didn't have to root against him. Like, he was just that bad, that quick.
What game was there in Chad Morris's tenure that if he had won would have saved his tenure?
Not
like
one.
That Western Kentucky game. I remember that day vividly. I was thinking about it earlier, actually. I remember going to get Pizza Hut and being depressed because it was like they were already down like 21-0 or whatever. And I just remember thinking, I'm like, damn, like they couldn't even win this one. But like I remember vividly cheering for Arkansas to win the game, and I knew they probably weren't going to. But like, yeah, we wanted them to win because like I don't think that loss would have, or that win would have saved his job. Like we didn't even have that much time to root against Chad Morris.
No, not at all. Like, again, it happened so fast. People forget after a Western Kentucky game, he got fired. So it wasn't even like he was there for 2 full seasons. In fact, he only went 4-18 as a coach guy, not 4-20.
Not 4-20, as people say. I mean, Curtis, you were at that San Jose State game. Were you sitting there like, I don't know if I want Arkansas to win this one?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. Like, I really do get the premise of like, we hate the head coach and we love the team. But like, dude, the team outweighs everything. It's the team. What coach is it that said that? Was that the Michigan coach? The team.
Mm.
It's about the team, dude. Like, it really is. And it's like the hog outweighs all, man. There's been hogs that I've hated. There's been hogs that I've loved. I cheer for the hog, man. I don't cheer for coaches. I cheer for players and I cheer for coaches. But like it really, like at the end of the day, like the Razorback outweighs all of it.
That San Jose State game, I was banging my shin off of the bleachers with every Nick Starkel interception. So,
of which there were many. Your shin was depleted after that.
Still not recovered from that. Yeah,
you had 5 at least, if that was the case. Yeah, that was brutal too. But also, here's the deal. The only way, and I'm not justifying it still to this day, but the only way that I feel like it would even maybe a little bit make sense for rooting against your own team because you wanted a coach gone is if you felt like the current administration was not going to do it. Is that like you had to be like, I'm rooting because I know that they're not going to do it when it should happen. So I need it to be so bad that they're forced to do it. That would be the only way I could almost kind of justify. I'm not saying it's right even then. Like that would at least make sense. But like the year of the Chad Morris situation, I don't think anybody at the time was like, oh, well, I mean, we got to go 2-10 or else they're not going to fire this guy. If he goes 3-9, they may keep his job. It's like, I don't felt like that was the case at all.
I will say, John, I think there's a lot of fans who are literally in that both that you just described of we don't think the administration will do it, so we hope it's bad enough that they have to. I would say there is a fair, not a huge amount, but like a decent contingent of the fan base that definitely feels that way. And I don't blame them for feeling that way, but I just don't feel that way. Like right. I still, when Saturday rolls around, I want Arkansas to win. When they play Arkansas State, I want them to win. When they play Ole Miss, I want them to win. Like it in the moment, I don't really, once you're in that battle, it's like, I just want to win. And if you don't want to win, like that's fine, but I don't know. I think like we're losing it a little bit where it's like, I just can't bring myself to be like, man, I want Arkansas to lose.
Not in any capacity, not at least not at this point in time too. So, but somebody said I was describing the current scenario. So yeah, that was my point. Is like it's like I could get some people feeling that way right now, but it's a little bit differently. So let's see. Showtime Production says currently driving up to Fayetteville from Dallas for the weekend. Thanks for killing 1.5 hours of the drive for me, boys. Best Razorback coverage there is. Hey, thanks, Showtime.
Yeah. Dude, we are the ultimate time killers.
It's true.
We got you for that.
Yeah, and apparently we're the ultimate watching while you're driving program because we have a lot of people that love doing that.
That's right.
And I don't really know how to feel about it. It's one of those like catch-22 things. Like we want everyone to watch, but hopefully you're not watching us instead of the road and end up like because I think we got to blame Bobby Petrino for this. Ever since Bobby came out and said that he watches highlights of punt returns while he's driving, and all of a sudden we got a lot of people being like, I watch too when I'm driving. Like, I don't like that. Don't do that, but we appreciate it no matter what.
You think Bobby's tapped in?
No. If there was one coach on the entire campus at the University of Arkansas in any capacity that I can promise you would not even know how to find us or anyone of that matter would be Bobby Petrino. The fact that guy has Twitter, that guy uses Twitter more than Sam Pittman. Isn't that crazy? That guy uses Twitter more than Sam.
Tweeted today or last night.
Yeah, he sure did.
I think was it his granddaughter that was playing football? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I love that. So, anyways, point is, I don't think Bobby's going to tap in, but we do know certain coaches that do. We're not going to name names though. Shout out to Quinn for Super Chat. He says the last couple of weeks of our scenario, we just wanted him gone. So I didn't care if we won or lost because our program was on the line.
Well, Quinn, you're welcome.
Yeah.
We put the final nail in that coffin for you.
Yeah. Arkansas helped you out, man. So you owe us, honestly.
The way Quinn worded it, though, I think is important. I didn't care if they won or lost, which is I think like a place that we've kind of gotten to, not now, but in the Chad Morris era, that would be an accurate way to describe that. Where it was like we just kind of knew, hey, this isn't it. This isn't going to be a long-term thing. So really none of this matters. It's like you get to that point when your coach is bad enough, your games have no stakes at all. It's like it does not matter. If we win, it's not going to matter. If we lose, it's not going to matter. And so I can kind of relate to that as well. But I think even Quinn, if he had to admit deep down, he was still probably cheering for Auburn to win when they played.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I don't think you can just turn it off and on like that with your fandom. Like just for 1 week, you're rooting like crazy for your team to win, and then the next week, like I want this team to lose so badly. I don't care who it's against. Like I just don't feel like you can turn it on and off like that. And if you can, I don't know if that makes you a real fan or not. I don't know if you can really go down that road. But I like this question from Addison, though. He says, can Arkansas do anything against Alabama A&M this weekend that will make you feel better about the team this season, or is it all a wash just because of the quality of the opponent? To me, I think it's a wash for the most part. But it's one of those deals, guys, where if Arkansas kicks the crap out of them, it's just like, ho hum. But if it's a close game, it changes everything, even if Arkansas wins. So is there anything good that they can do? I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to see a big blowout thing and all that, but it won't have near the impact it will if Arkansas just barely wins and barely squeaks by.
That is a 1000% accurate take there, John, for sure. No Portland State funny business, no Western Carolina. You don't even want it looking like that. You can blow a team out and still walk out of there going, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Arkansas could win 100-0 against Alabama A&M on Saturday, and I wouldn't feel any differently about things moving forward than I do right now.
I mean, literally last year in this exact same spot, Arkansas won a game as definitively as you can possibly win a game. It is impossible for Arkansas to look better than they looked in that game, and we all agree that it meant nothing, good or bad. Like it just was a complete. That game could have happened in literally any other year, and it wouldn't have mattered. But Addison said, "Feel better." And so I will say there are things that can happen Saturday that would make me feel better. But when I want to clarify, it would be like a fraction of a percent. Like if, the O-line just completely, they averaged 15 yards a carry and there were no pressures, no nothing. I would
7 sacks.
It wouldn't be a vast amount better. I wouldn't be like, oh, wow, now I think the offensive line is the best in the SEC. I would feel like 0.5% better. And if maybe a couple receivers stood out, maybe Charlie Collins had 2 sacks, I would feel better. But the key thing is trying to extrapolate what happened Saturday and apply it to other things. I just can't get behind. And I think if you look at last year, Arkansas's numbers, when they played really bad teams, they put up really good numbers. When they played really good teams, they put up really bad numbers. And then when they played average teams, they were right in between. It's like sometimes that just is the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But at the end of the day, this is a team. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. There's no trying to spin zone it. If you do not blow out Alabama A&M, it's a bad thing. There's nothing that can happen in this game where if you don't beat them by at least 24 points or more, that you can justify and be like, well, Alabama A&M, they got a lot of veterans on there. They got some guys that transferred in there's zero anything that you will say to justify a narrow win over Alabama A&M on Saturday. Zero things.
We're just going to overlook the all SWAC defensive end that they have. We're just going to ignore that accolade. That's what we're doing. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing on the post game Saturday.
Yeah, that's golly. Just be like, wait, listen, we tried to tell you guys this team was good. Should have been ready for them.
John, I'm glad you said that. Everyone listening right now, if on Saturday you find yourself talking yourself into the idea that Alabama A&M is actually pretty good, it's a red flag.
Yep.
That right there is a red flag.
Yeah.
I remember my dad trying to tell me that ULM, he's like, dude, you don't know. ULM might just be nasty. Who knows? You don't know. Like, who knows?
Oh, there's nothing that just pisses me off more than that. The Portland State thing that we talked about was a 20-13 final. And I'm not going to name names, but I remember there were certain people in the media that are just like, listen, I mean, this is a new Arkansas team. They're still trying to figure things out, guys. Like they're still working on the kinks. And it's like
Understatement.
20-13 against a team that came down there that they were like blown away that the stadium was so big. It's like they've never seen anything like that before. And yeah, I don't know. Don't give me that. Was it, by the way, random? I know we're talking about this season for some reason, but was it that year where was it San Jose State that came in and they're like, oh, we're going to beat this team or whatever on the field? Like someone put up a video. They're like, oh, this ain't nothing. We're going to beat this team. And all these Razorback fans are like, oh, man, you just better shut these boys up. And then you lost to them. I feel like it was that year. I could be wrong, but.
I mean, they played San Jose State a few weeks later, so it was definitely that year. But I don't remember the whole "we're going to beat this team" controversy.
Oh man,
I don't remember if it was them.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I felt like it was.
I remember that happening though, and us being like, "Wow,
sweet, called that one wrong."
Okay,
great. So again, we'll get to your chats, folks. Really appreciate you chiming in. We'll have our heady hitters as well, but I want to tell everybody about a new sponsor though that we have here at Inside Arkansas that we're really excited about. OZK Insurance, because listen, a lot of you are probably tired of juggling insurance companies just to find the right coverage. Am I right? Well, at OZK Insurance and Rogers, they make insurance simple again. Because as a 100% independent agency, they shop the entire marketplace to make sure they deliver the best combination of cost and coverage, which saves you both time and money, which last time I checked, everybody likes saving their time and saving their money. And that's what OZK Insurance does for you. Whether it's home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, or commercial insurance, their friendly team has access to a wide range of flexible options designed just for you. And they serve the Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas area, including Bentonville, Centerton, Fayetteville, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Springdale, and beyond. So pretty much anywhere in the state of Arkansas, let OZK Insurance be the trusted advisor you never knew that you needed. But you can start with a free online quote today at ozkinsurance.com. That's ozkinsurance.com. You can also check and scan that QR code on your screen, or you can call them today at 479-715-4200. That's 479-715-4200. It's OZK Insurance, protection made simple. And we really appreciate them, as they're going to be part of us not only in Inside Arkansas, but also our Inside Arkansas football post-game show and our Pot at the Palace post-game show, which, we'll be here soon too. And I'm sure people will not be overreactionary in that one either. I always wanted to say that if I ever did some sort of post-game show at any point, I want it to be called just like the overreaction show, because, man, that's usually what it goes into. But it's a reaction show. It's a reaction show. Get in on it. But we're really happy for OZK Insurance being a part of it, and for football post-game, basketball post-games, and all that great stuff. So partnering up with them. But either way, a few more chats here too, because Quinn's going. He's on one, guys. That's the thing I love about Quinn. Not just because you give us money, Quinn, which we always appreciate, but when you get on one, man, all of a sudden I start seeing these green bars just popping up in our chats, like going out of style. And we always appreciate, because I'm sure it's just you being mad. But either way, Quinn says, yeah, I was rooting for them, but I remember leaving that game in the third quarter thinking he better be gone. So talking about, yeah.
And I saw someone later in the chat that was like, you can cheer for the team, but maybe you don't go to the game just to kind of show, you can protest in your own little ways, That,
hey, Cardinals fans are going through that right now.
Literally, exactly.
I was going to make that joke, but yeah, no, but that's the way, as a fan, that's what everyone says. Like when you complain, it was like, oh, what can we do? If you stop showing up, that is literally the best and most effective way to get your way. If you're unhappy, just stop showing up. You need any evidence of that? Look at the Chad Morris years, guys. They built that brand new north end zone. And it reminds me of Charles Barkley talking about the Suns. It's like, oh, you get a ticket up at the top, but come right down to the front row. I mean, you guys remember when they duct tape like 20 tickets to the stop sign outside, being like, please take them. These are free. I mean, that's the best way to get your way if you're upset, is just don't go. Stop showing up. Quinn, listen, says Alabama A&M isn't good, and if y'all only win by 25, like what John thinks, y'all will be sounding the alarms. Yeah, no kidding.
Agree.
Yeah. Like, no kidding. But then all it's going to take is them beating Arkansas State like 56-7 and be like, oh, man, see, they just had to work out the kinks, and then they're figuring it out. It's just, again, we could just do this all day long, what people are going to do in certain scenarios and what they're going to say. It's just 100% going to happen. But appreciate the super chats, though, Quinn. Appreciate you. Pablo just says, I saw Starkle with the Bieber shirt and knew we were cooked. We still, man, that's the most infamous shirt ever worn.
That's what the San Jose State game was, the official death of the Starkle shirt.
That's right.
He ripped it up after that.
Man.
Or the Bieber shirt, sorry.
Yeah.
The Bieber shirt on Starkle.
Yeah. It was one of those things, too, because I remember it was in Sports Talk Radio, and I'm sure you guys had it when people were like on social media or whatever, but people were so mad. I'm like, you know what? If they were winning, you wouldn't care. Like, it's just one of those things. When you're losing, it's a problem, but when you're winning, no one cares. In fact, if he was throwing 5 touchdowns, no picks every game, he'd be like, dude, Bieber, I'm a Bieber. I'm a believer now. I'll go out and get the shirt. Like, but when you're losing, it's just, oh yeah, so Justin Bieber, that's his problem. I mean, you idiot, listening to music and stuff. Come on, that's stupid.
It's like Eric Musselman dressing up like a UPS driver before the games. It's cool until you get beat, Yep.
Oh man, that was my favorite. That was like the greatest example, Curtis, every time, because people would bring that up. And I remember somebody, I forgot, it was on my radio show in Little Rock, they called him and be like, it's just cringy. And they said it after Arkansas beat, who did they beat? Who did they beat to, it was New Mexico State when they went to the Sweet 16. And Saul Must it was Kansas to go to the Sweet 16 when he took his shirt off. It was guys like, I'm just sick of this cringy stuff. I'm like, they're going to the Sweet 16. Shut up. You don't shut up. I just got so tired of that. I did an interview too. I was like, you taking off his shirt, like act like you've been there before. I'm like, shut up. He won.
He has
been there before,
actually.
and he's done that every time.
Right. He could coach the whole damn game without his shirt on if he's gonna get him deep in the tournament every year. Yeah.
Yeah. That's because who was it that was it? Oh, our buddy Dan Wolkin. Was he the one that was always about Mush taking his shirt off? Your thoughts?
Oh yeah, he was hogging the whole locker room with that.
Yeah. Now at Yahoo, right? So where Dan Wolkin went.
That's right. Yeah, people were excited about it. Yeah. So your coach wasn't wearing a shirt after the game, and boy, those basketballs seem like they're pretty inflated, huh? It's like, my guy, you need to get the hell out of this locker room so we can do our jobs.
You heard it here. Like it's just can't get that type of thing.
What do you think about Jalen Williams taking a charge?
Golly.
Ask Rick Barnes. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Or who was it? Who's the media guy that was complaining? Was it a Kentucky guy that was complaining about? No, it was the Tennessee guy.
Yeah.
Wes Rucker.
Yeah.
There we go. It's sometimes they all blur together.
Nobody won in Fayetteville Saturday.
Yeah, jeez. Let's see a few more here because we'll have our heavy hitters as well. Heartbroken Hog says, at least in pro sports, it makes some sense to root against your team to tank, but in college, losing always serves to hurt recruiting. And if you're viewed as poorly managed, it hurts what coach you can hire. I was with you, Heartbroken Hog, until the very end. Because again, I think this is another thing that gets overblown a ton when people think you can't do these certain things or you can't, it's going to hurt recruiting if you have to bring in a new coach or anything. No, it's like, that's not how that works. I mean, there were people saying that when Houston, like Chuck Barrett, and I like Chuck, but Chuck was doing his sports talk show. It says, this is going to set the program back 10 years if you fire Houston Nutt. Well, guess what? They hired Bobby Petrino and it elevated it. So just because you think that does not mean it's going to be just awful. And you're just like, oh, we can't do this because it'll hurt recruiting. And no, sometimes you just got to pull the plug. And guess what kids like? Kids like to go to play at programs that have a good coach that's going to get them to the next level and that has excitement and energy. And they're not going to be like, well, yeah, but they had a coach here last year. They got fired. I don't know if I want to go play for that. That's not how that works. Kids don't think that way.
Let's retire the phrase, set the program back X amount of years. Let's just retire it.
Yes. Oh, golly. Well, there's a lot. You know what? We should have done that in the summer. We should have done an entire segment dedicated on phrases in sports we need to retire. That would have been a really great one to go through. Vids for me says only $36,000 on the raffle. Do we think that will beat baseball that will beat the baseball weekend? Well, it's not on pace.
Probably not. It'll pick up, I would imagine, a little bit tomorrow and Saturday, but yeah.
I also think Saturday in stadium is going to be very interesting. Because I mean, listen, there weren't 70,000 people across an entire baseball weekend, and so it's like, obviously not all 70,000 of those people, or 60,000, how many show up, are going to buy lottery tickets or whatever. But you can get 5,000 of those 60,000 or whatever that buy $100 worth of stuff. Like I think it could it could have a huge uptick pretty quickly. But there's no doubt about it that it is not super high on the U of A's priority list right now, is like really ramping this raffle up and getting a bunch out of it.
No. And my thing is, I get it. You want it to be as high as you want it to be, but at the same time too, it's like it's more money than what you had. So I guess, it's you're in the positive. So I just wish that they would start making a bigger deal, and who knows, maybe they do this year, but start making a bigger deal of like who wins, and like get them out there to the field the next week and present the big check to them. Maybe they do that. Like
they did that.
Right, I'm saying but for this year to do it every week, like for who won it the previous time, like keep doing that, because I feel like the more the people see visually of a normal, regular Joe winning it, then I think that's what's going to help increase it. Is people be like, hey, I look like that guy. I have a dad bod. I can win it. I have a mower. I drive a mower. Yeah, it's like I can do those things. I can win. I can win a raffle. So that'd be the best way to do it, in my opinion. But all right, let's tell you what, let's go ahead and get into our heavy hitters presented by our friends over at HD Roofing and Construction. Listen, we know storms can hit unexpectedly, for crying out loud. If you're up in Northwest Arkansas, it definitely hit last night. Even woke up my dog Rowdy, and he doesn't make noise, but he was making some awful noise. I don't know what it was, but storms were rough. A lot of wind, a lot of rain, flash floods, all that stuff. It's taking a beating though, your roof. So the last thing you want to ever have is a storm like that happen last night or early this morning, and your roof not be prepared for it. So let HD Roofing and Construction, let them check it out. Free inspection is what they're going to provide for you across the entire state of Arkansas. We've had a lot of people here with us at Inside Arkansas that's used HD Roofing, and they loved it. Because when you choose HD Roofing, you get that professionalism, top quality materials, and the expert installation for all of your roofing needs. It's as simple as that. So give them a call today, 501-428-0429. That's 501-428-0429. You can also check out their website at hdarkansas.com. It's hdarkansas.com, HD Roofing and Construction for our heavy hitters here on Inside Arkansas. Okay, so guys, I'm going to let you two go first. I want to save mine for last this time because I think it's going to be worth a reaction and everything. But Curtis, I'll let you kick it off. Who's your heavy hitter for today?
I guess it's Virginia. Since our man Brett McMurphy reported that apparently a source within the SEC told him that there's going to be like a potential bidding war between the SEC and the Big Ten when conference expansion happens again for North Carolina, which we'd heard about that, and Virginia. How do we feel about that? Because when I think SEC, personally, I don't think Virginia. I think that screams Big Ten to me, actually. If I'm thinking about schools from that league that makes sense, like North Carolina does to a degree, I think Clemson does. You could talk me into Florida State. Hell, you could talk me into Virginia Tech, I think, before you talk me into Virginia. But apparently they're a hot commodity between the two major conferences here in the country. And frankly, I'm surprised.
I'm just going to be honest. Like Virginia, I know they're not an Ivy League school, but it just kind of gives me the vibe that they are. You know, I feel like if you went up there, it could be completely wrong, and I probably am, but it's like there's just no like crazy rowdy tailgating. I feel like everybody's wearing coats, even though it's like, 72 degrees outside. I feel like they would have like they're doing tours of their campus and the history of it. I don't know. I'm with you. It just doesn't fit culturally, which I know some teams don't. Like I didn't think Texas A&M fit culturally. I don't think Missouri fits culturally. So I get it, but Virginia is suddenly we're flirting with the Northeast. Suddenly, so the Southeast Conference is suddenly flirting with the Northeast, and I just don't know when I want to live in that world.
I've always pushed back against the idea that Virginia is the South, but people have told me I'm wrong about that. They say Virginia is a Southern state. I don't know, man. I seems like Maine to me, but I don't know. I like Virginia because I'm a fan. I've said this all along. I'm a fan of teams that Arkansas would be cooler than joining the SEC. Just so it's like, we're not like the outlier. I like there being kids that we can pick on in the SEC. I feel like Virginia would fit that criteria.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I want expansion. Clemson. I still think West Virginia to me would be the best if you talk about a team that just fits culturally. Because nothing against the fine folks of West Virginia, but I just feel like you go up there and it's a trash party. It's a WTP, white trash party. Like they're all up there burning things. Like there's just weird smells every 2 seconds that you walk by. People are getting in fights. Like I feel like that would fit. But Virginia, miss me with that. Although I say that, and then I'd probably first game that Arkansas had up there. I don't even know what's the city that they're based in.
Richmond.
Charlottesville,
Richmond, somewhere.
Virginia is definitely 1,000% in Charlottesville.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of those historic cities for historical reasons. But either way, I'd probably end up going. But man, I'm glad that. Could you imagine if what it was before with Tony? What was the basketball coach?
Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett. Imagine Cal, like Arkansas playing Virginia and Tony Bennett, just I'd be miserable watching that.
Yes, snooze fest.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine Virginia versus Mississippi State in the hump with Tony Bennett coaching Virginia.
No, I will not. I will not do that.
That's a tough one. My heavy hitter, are y'all familiar with a young lady by the name of Karen Reed?
I don't think so.
Curtis, you're aware? Curtis,
yes.
you're every time. So I'm not into true crime stuff, but Hillary is, of course. Every time I have some random true crime thing, Curtis knows what I'm talking about in a weird way. So yeah, I've noticed you're woke on the stuff, but
I'm hip to this. Yeah.
Yeah. So Karen Reed, for those that don't know, was accused of murder back. I guess when would this have been? Like early 2000s, or was it later than that? I don't know, but it's been going on for a long time. Mm-hmm. She was basically accused of murdering her husband. And I'm going to be honest with you. I listened to a whole podcast on this and thought she murdered her husband, but they're doing the trial now. I don't know how it got kind of brought back up, but it's kind of come to, it seems like she got screwed here. She got framed and she's, been acquitted and everything. But it seems like the police department killed this dude and framed her for it. which we've now kind of all figured out collectively as an American society. But it's just been announced that Elizabeth Banks is going to play her in a television series, which is good because Elizabeth Banks is awesome. But also good for Karen Reed. You know, you got wrongly accused of murder. I thought she did it. I was like, man, this girl's crazy. Like, this is nuts. She obviously hit her husband with a car. Let's throw her in jail. Turns out she didn't, and she's been acquitted, and Elizabeth Banks is playing her, so good for her.
What's y'all's favorite murder trial?
I mean, it's got to be OJ.
I was going to say OJ. Like, does OJ are we saying outside of OJ?
Yeah, for the sake of variety, that's the one outside of OJ.
Recently, the one with the Scott Peterson guy that killed his wife.
Yeah,
that was a fun. I watched a TV show on that one. Y'all know about John Benet Ramsey?
Yeah.
I think John Benet Ramsey's family may have either her sibling or her mother killed her accidentally. Is my theory.
Who was the Paralympian?
Oh,
Pistorius,
yes.
Oscar, whatever his name was.
Scott Pistorius, yeah.
Who was like shooting through the bathroom door or whatever and acting like he thought somebody was breaking in or whatever. That's an interesting.
Yeah, and it was like in a hotel bathroom, like
weird deal.
Yeah, very strange. And then the Menendez brothers. I mean, there's a lot of the 90s were about some serious like murder trials. I'm just saying, and it's amazing how like revisionist history, suddenly a Netflix documentary or whatever comes out and everyone's like, I'm starting to rethink it. Maybe they actually didn't do it. Like, okay. It's like, it's amazing how that works.
I think it's because true crime and people are so obsessed with it. Like, watching documentaries on it, podcasts. There's been there's been an uptick in like things that people are just reopening. They're just like, this thing happened in 2001. Let's just take a look at it real quick. And then they like find completely new stuff. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. My buddy Brendan just texted me and said Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey. I don't know what that means, but okay. Thank you. This is a theory that's going around. I don't know.
I've heard a lot of Katy Perry theories. That is one I had not heard, but that's interesting. Yeah. Wait, no, I had heard about this. There was somebody else. Was it Avril Lavigne that people thought she got like cloned or something like that?
Well, they thought she was dead, I think. And then,
right. Yeah, she's got the body double like Putin.
Yeah. Didn't Trump's lady have a body double at one point? They had like 3 different actors playing his wife.
Yeah. I think that's just like part of it these days, man. It's just like people, it's like, hey, it's like I see something that's something weird. Oh, that must be just cloned, must have done like Walt Disney and put him up in a frozen chicken bucket on KFC and just saving him for him to bring him back to life. Like, okay, sure. Like if that's what you want to believe.
I feel pretty confident that y'all could not get a body double to play me. Y'all could not find a guy to stand in here and pretend to be Andrew Ellis for an hour and a half every day.
I mean, Andrew, I'm not saying we couldn't, but I'm just saying, like, as far as us three getting compared to lookalikes of a lot of people, I feel like you get the most of it.
Lookalike is one thing, but you got to play the part. You got to be an actor. I don't think you can get some random schmo from down the street, give him some cue cards, and let him play Andrew Ellis. I think the chat would catch on to it. Yeah,
probably so. All right, so for my heavy hitter guys, I sent this to you. I want to give a shout out to our guy Gib, who became a member of ours. He sent me an email, and he's an artist. He's a musician, and I'm just going to tell you, he made a song for Inside Arkansas. And I'm going to be honest, like everybody, you're going to have your opinions, keep them to yourself, whatever. But when I worked at the Buzz, there was a few times where somebody made a song for me, and I was always like, oh no, whenever it got sent. And usually it was right. But I'm giving a huge shout out to Gib, and I'm going to play this song for everybody so they can hear it, because I think it's so cool if somebody likes us enough to put in the work to be creative and to do something cool like this. And regardless if it's your type of music or not, that's up to you. But I just think it's really awesome, and it's really nice of him to do. And we're going to play it. It's a minute and a half roughly. So just everybody sit back, relax, and listen to the official anthem of Inside Arkansas. Let's start.
John, Andrew, and Curtis, best folks talking the state. #1 with the
out to Gib. Shout out to our guy Gib.
I think it looks like unanimous approval in the chat.
I love that so much. I love that so much. Yeah, in fact, Gib gave us a super chat. Thanks, Gib. This is the man himself. He said, let's go. Best sports talk in the state, hands down. It's not even close. Woo pig. Thank you, Gib. Because listen, I don't think or at least I'll speak for myself. I don't think I'm that cool. And the fact that you made a song, anybody that gets a song made by him means automatically they got a little bit of cool factor. So thank you, Gib, for doing that for us. That was really cool, really creative. And I know you put a lot of work into it. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm definitely not that cool. That's electric, man. That's awesome. You sent that to us yesterday, John, and I played it right away. And I had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. It took about 10 seconds. And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually legit, man. This is really good. I listened to it a few times last night. It's like, wow. Sent it to my wife. She's like, holy crap, this is cool.
I was going to say, full disclosure, I sent it to like 7 people. And most of the 7 people did not have any criticisms of the song. They questioned whether or not there was a real human being who would make this song about us. And I was like, no, I mean, this is legit, man. This is legit stuff here. And so I think that's a good sign. When people, it's like getting steroid allegations. It's like, no, I'm not on steroids. I'm just jacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And it's kind of the same thing too. Cause again, Gib, really appreciate it. But people I send it to, they're like, oh yeah, you made this. I'm like, you don't understand how little time I have in life as it is. And do you think I have time to sit down and be like, you know what? Forget football season, forget all the stuff, getting all of us ready for everything. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make a song about us because why not? No, that's not a real thing. So, but yeah, I was blown away. Really appreciate it. He's a really good dude, and he's in the music biz, and it's going to be streaming here soon. So if you want to get in on the track, we'll give you some info on that. But either way,
and he's got other hog related songs.
What's that?
I said he's got other hog related songs. It appears he's got a Whoop Pig Suey track as well.
That's right. Yeah, he's got it all going on, man. So really, again, appreciate it, Gib. Appreciate the anthem. I don't know, maybe we'll switch it to an intro at some point in time, but it's good. It was really good because that was also the first one I've ever had a rap song made. Usually it's like country songs or folk songs. I wish I still had those files. Y'all would. I ain't gonna try to out anybody, but some of them were just, oh gosh, might as well just killed ourselves. But anyway, Vids for me says LMAO. That's unironically fire. Hey, well, remember for 3 months. Yeah, listen, it's good stuff. It was good stuff, man. Appreciate it, Vids for me. Our Broken Hog says we need John's gritty to this. Nah. Well, no, you guys know the rules. $500 super chat. That's the rules. I can't be giving them out for free these days. Blind Squirrel Sports. This is a residential Georgia fan. Yeah. He says, if the Razorbacks are as good as this song, Arkansas will win a national championship.
There we go.
Okay.
It's high praise. I like that.
I do too. So, but yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff there from Gibbs, and appreciate him. So, all right. So we'll continue on here with the show in just a second, but want to remind everybody that here on Inside Arkansas, we're presented by our friends over at Hickey and Hull Law, because things are about to get better for you. Don't worry. Things are about to be better for us as well, because we know that all cases when it comes to legal issues that you may be having, whether it's divorce, custody, criminal, civil litigation, all of those things, you need help. You don't need to just let it happen and try to take it on your own, because it's going to be overwhelming. There's going to be details that get missed. Don't deal with that. Have Hickey and Hull. The professionals help you out with all of your legal cases each and every day, because they know that the attorney-client relationship, it's built on honesty and trust, and you'll be able to have that with them, and they're going to take care of you every single step of the way. So if you're having any sort of legal issues and need legal help, whether it's divorce, custody, criminal, civil litigation, personal injury, estate planning, no matter what it is, give Hickey and Hull a call today at 479-434-2414. That's 479-434-2414. Or you can check out their website at hickeyandhull.com. Scan that QR code right there on your screen. It's Hickey and Hull Law. Things are about to get better. All right. So, today I was teasing, and we've been teasing about a new edition that we've been having and going to have here on Inside Arkansas. I feel like, guys, we've been doing this for over a year now. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but hey, we're still kicking, still going strong, and love what we've been able, and very proud of what we've been able to do, as well as all the people being a part of it, all the audience that's been tapping in with us as we continue to try to grow. That's why we have more interns this time around. That's why we are putting together a lot more fun content when it comes to the football season and everything. But one of the things that we have always strived for is to really expand into the sports realm of the recruiting side of things, and the transfer portal, and all those things. So we wanted to make a move here, and we're really excited to welcome in the newest member of Inside Arkansas, and he joins us here on the show. It is a legend within himself, and if you don't believe me, you ask him. He'll let you know just how much of a legend he is. It is our good friend and really good guy, Dudley Dawson. What's going on, Dudley? What's up, dude?
Hey, by the way, the song is straight fire, as the young kids say. I love the song. I'm gonna have to get 501 Bryce to drop one for me, I guess. I don't know, but excited to be here and be with you young gentlemen. I'm a bit older, but have been around a while. But I'm ready to get off of some of this traditional media and get into some of this new media.
A perfect fit for the vibes, man. I love it. Gib, we appreciate it, but we need the remix already, buddy. I mean, I'm not trying to put you back to work here, but we might have to make some alterations.
Yeah, Dudley, man. I'm excited to have you, man. I remember vividly when I was I think I was like 19 or 20, and I was interning up here in Northwest Arkansas, and I met someone, and I was telling him what I was trying to do with my life, and he said, "So you're trying to be like Dudley Dawson?" And I was like, yes, that's pretty much what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be like Dudley Dawson. And so it's kind of a cool full circle moment for me as a former Dudley Dawson fan to now be a Dudley Dawson coworker. It's a dream come true.
Well, I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm really excited about joining the mix here. And it's been a great last couple of days listening to you and sitting around here ready to jump on and trying to keep quiet. I can do that sometimes. But it's a lot of fun, and I'm happy to be with y'all.
Yeah, and so just to let everybody know about it too, as far as Dudley, he's going to be helping us out with a lot of different things here at Inside Arkansas, whether it's pre-games, post-games, content of all different sorts. But the main thing that we're going to be having Dudley help us out with is our recruiting. And so we have officially launched the Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast, which is going to be hosted by Dudley Dawson, in which Dudley, he is going to be bringing you the latest on all recruiting, especially on the football side of things, but basketball with transfer portal. He's going to be talking with commitments. He's going to be talking with visits. He's going to be giving you each and every day the latest when it comes to all things Razorback recruiting and all the sports, which we know is 24/7, 365. It's probably why so many people do it and why Dudley's been doing it for so long. But there's somebody that is very well connected with the Razorback sports program, who's worked at Arkansas, who worked for Eddie Sutton, worked for Nolan Richardson, and also is a beleaguered St. Louis Cardinals fan like Curtis. It is Dudley Dawson right now. So it's going to be exciting to be able to have it, and we'll give you all the links and all the details. But on Monday, Dudley will be being a part of it and launching the Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast, hosted by Dudley Dawson.
Yeah, again, excited about it. Yeah, I'm a good thing that the Celtics won last year because mine and Curtis's Cardinals just flat out suck right now. And then I'm a Cowboys fan, and we know what that's been like. So, but how about those Vegas Golden Knights, huh?
There we go. Yeah, I could get on board with that. The Cardinal fandom existence is it's just not what it used to be, but better times are ahead, I hope.
Dudley,
So I'm about finding out that the guy's name is not Chaim Bloom, it's Heim Bloom, and he's taking over for John Mozeliak, and
That's right.
It can only get better.
Damn, I did not know his name was Heim. I've been saying Chaim for years too. But Dudley, I want to ask you a question because your sports fandom, I feel like, defines you. Every time I've seen you in my entire life, it's either Cardinals, Celtics, something going on. We were talking about it earlier. Have you ever, as a fan, been in a spot where you have not cheered for your team, where you've wanted them to lose games, whether it be a situation like the Cardinals where they're struggling or whatever? Because we were kind of talking about it, and I think you're a good person to ask about this.
It would be real easy to do so. With the Cowboys, you always want them to get a better pick. Cardinals, they've been bad enough lately that they've got high draft picks. But no, I've never rooted for my team to lose, even though it might be a better thing for it to happen. I'm just not built that way. And I've rooted for a lot of other teams to lose, but not mine.
That's a real one right there.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. So, because there's one thing that because it's fun because me and Dudley, I think we've talked about this, Curtis and Andrew, but me and Dudley did a radio show together back in 2015, 2016, called The Forum with John Neighbors, because I was egotistical enough to make sure a name was in the show, and Dudley joined me, and it was him and Mike Irwin and Aaron Peters, but we had a lot of fun, and one of my favorite days, and it was on Fridays when it was me, but I pulled it off to where I could get Dudley and Mike Irwin in the studio at the same time. And man, I've never felt more young, but I've never laughed harder in my life than those guys. So it's great to have a full circle 10 years later that Dudley is coming on board with this. And we're just excited. Again, he's going to be not just doing the recruiting podcast for us at Inside Arkansas, but he's going to be helping us out with some post games here because obviously Curtis with the little fellow on the way. I know he's going to be taking some time, and Dudley's going to step up and help us out with a lot of different stuff. So we're just excited. We're excited to keep growing. We're excited to have a legend. And, for all you olds out there that were getting on to us, be like, you guys are too young. You don't know squat. Hey, that's why we bring somebody like Dudley Dawson on to set us straight and to get everything right.
Ages together and get mine, I think. But yeah, me and Mike Irwin, that's a couple of cantankerous old guys. And I remember the show, John. It was great doing it with you. But I think the first thing I learned was when a young sportscaster named Alyssa Orange came into the studio, and she brought a gift of beer for the show, and she pointed out that it had an expiration date. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I drink Bud Light, and I ain't never found out that it sits around and would expire. I don't leave it around that long. So that was one of the things I learned in working with you, that the beer had an expiration date.
Yep. And
news to me too, just for what it's worth. That is news to me. Ain't no beer that's going to hit my fridge it's ever going to be anywhere near that expiration date. I can tell you that right now.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Dudley, I believe it was also already expired. So that's where the joke came into play. I was like, well, thank you for the gift of a beer that's already expired. But hey, listen, it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. So
I'm sporting, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit, but I'm sporting the Goat Lab shirt today. The Bill Adams, great guy, going to be one of our sponsors, and he's created the Bud Light craft beer for me, and in Tuscalite and all that. So many people think I helped run the Grove Club, the Comedy Club, and the Goat Lab breweries, but I don't. But I'm hoping one day to have a piece of it.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, we're excited about that too. Yeah, Goat Lab, the official title sponsor for Dudley's podcast of Inside Arkansas Recruiting, and we're really excited about them. Again, tailgate for grand opening happening on Saturday for them too. But that's kind of fitting though, right, Dudley, that you join and a place that does beer is your official sponsor. It just feels like it fits for you perfectly.
Hey, it is what it is. I'm a beer drinker. I always joke that my wife, Petra, beautiful Petra, drinks wine. Last wine I had was as a 14-year-old, and it was called Boone's Farm. And I'm just a beer guy.
Just a beer guy. Well, hey, Dudley, we really are looking forward to it, man, and looking forward to having you a part of what we're doing here at Inside Arkansas, and excited to work around you and work with you, and excited to get it going, man, and can't wait to see what's in store for this football season. Couldn't have another perfect time, even though it happened within a very short period of time of getting everything together, but football season is the time for it.
It's going to be a great time, and looking forward to the game Saturday. The grandson is coming in this weekend, and I'm turning 62.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Dudley, hey, appreciate it, Dudley, and we'll be having you on here soon. We'll be chatting soon. All right, my man.
Sounds good.
All right, appreciate it. Again, Dudley Dawson, official Inside Arkansas recruiting podcast host here on Inside Arkansas, starting up on Monday. So. There we go, guys.
Somebody in the chat was like, "Oh, this is awesome! Now my dad's gonna listen." Great, that's what we're going for. Pumped up to have Dudley, man. It's exciting. One of the OGs, here in Arkansas media, and is going to bring a lot of really cool insight, some different perspective, and just from a personality standpoint, I think there's probably a small percentage of people out there who could really fit with what we've got going on. And I think this is a really, really good addition to what we've got. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I've always had like a good enough relationship with Dudley where like I've never had a bad interaction with him. And when I first got on the beat, you're always kind of apprehensive. I mean, hell, even meeting you guys,
Yes, hell yes. Let's go.
Great view there, man. So, that's all right. Even meeting us,
that microphone.
Well, I was gonna say even meeting us that he lost it. So, what were you saying, Andrew? Finish your point.
No, I was just saying, like, you come into the beat and you're nervous because you're around all these people that you've either read, watched, seen, whatever. And I was even kind of nervous meeting y'all, but like the older guys, you're really like, oh man, these are the OGs. And Dudley was the one that just never gave you that feel of like, that he takes himself so seriously and that you can't approach him, you can't talk to him. And I always appreciated that about him.
Oh yeah. No, I know you guys have known Dudley. I've known Dudley. When we get into the media, kind of what you were saying, Andrew, you're always a little apprehensive of what is it, never meet your heroes. And, I think it was maybe different because in radio, just being honest, most radio people aren't very nice to people who are new into the radio biz. But, certain writers may not be. And not want to say writers aren't nice. It's just sometimes they don't care about you. They just got a job to do. But Dudley was always one of those guys that was very accommodating, very welcoming. And I remember listening to him, man. Sorry, Dudley, but I remember listening to him on Chuck Barrett's show, Sports Wrap on ARN, where you could dial pound 1030 on your Alltel mobile. And that's how you got into the show. Like, that's how long ago it was. But getting to hear from Dudley and, how long he's been around. And of course, working for Eddie Sutton and working for Nolan Richardson, basketball guy. And, it's also a really cool thing. So we're excited, man. We're excited for Dudley, excited for us to continue to grow and continue to build and continue to do a lot of great things there. So, and also I'm just glad because we don't have to cover recruiting because let's be honest, it's only so fun for so much, but either way. Well, man, that was great. Excited. Appreciate everybody that has been chiming in. Any final thoughts, guys, before we roll out of here for the day?
Just echoing the excitement for the new edition here. As John Rothstein most famously says, it spreads. Things are only getting bigger from here, folks. And we're really excited about where this is headed. And, make sure you tap in for the EA Sports live stream tonight, 8:00. We're looking forward to that. Make sure you tune into the Pot at the Palace tomorrow, where we will, ironically enough, be talking a lot about recruiting because Arkansas does have a big visitor coming on campus this weekend in Caleb Holtz. So stay tapped in with us. We appreciate everybody, and we're excited to have everyone along for the ride.
I refuse to say any more. I'm waiting until 8 p.m. to get these takes off. You have to show up at the stream tonight and watch video game characters play if you want to hear my brilliant final thoughts, which are going to solve world hunger.
That's right. And so how's that for a tease? Yeah, if you don't want to miss out on all of those things. But we are going to have fun tonight at 8 p.m. We are going to have fun with Dudley Dawson joining us. And it's spread, so you better subscribe to us here on YouTube, as well as tap in for all of our audio version podcasts, whether it's Inside Arkansas Live, Pod at the Palace, the Bombastic Podcast, the Inside Arkansas Football Podcast, and now the Inside Arkansas Recruiting Podcast, as we have it all going on right now. Again, that officially launches on Monday for the very first episode, so really excited about that. But thank you to everybody who's tapped in with us, listened to us. Be sure to subscribe, all that great stuff. Have a great rest of your day. I know it's raining outside, but hey, football season, baby. 2 days away for Razorback stuff. It's going to be great. So for Andrew Ellis, as well as Curtis Wilkerson, our producer Cameron, Dudley Dawson, I'm John Neighbors. Same sports show, same sports channel, tomorrow at noon, live at Alumni Hall. We'll see you then, folks. Have a great rest of your day.